are so cute. You know, that's one of the great things that this business has done, right? Is it gives you the ability to feel more comfortable being present up here. So thank you for that in this community. So yes, I would love to bring up two amazing, phenomenal men who are inspirational, they're inspiring, they really exemplify for all of us true leadership, also the ability to really communicate. They're here to communicate with us on all levels to help us on the spur of the moment, on the fly, or in depth. And they have traveled all the way here from California. They're here for us always via email, and you know what? The other thing is that with Ditch the Can, you know, Alex has been inspirational in Life Force, and they are both extremely, it's been amazing what they've created with Social Network Marketing University. And there's so much more to come for Life Force and Ditch the Can, and we just have them to thank. So Alex and Luke, welcome.
There's plenty of chairs in the front. So maybe it'd be best, I mean, this is kind of a very diverse list of things. So I guess where I see people really struggling in their prospecting is creation of their own brand and really finding that voice and their own personal vision. And network marketing has changed greatly, even in the last 5 years. Since I've been in it since '97. All of you have probably been in it maybe just as long or similar. It's changed a whole lot, especially in the last 5 years. So maybe take some questions about, we hit a couple things here. DTC promotion, maybe that's Life Force promotion too, we can combine it. Rather than talk about what's off limits, maybe we can generate some good ideas to promote and something will resonate with you. I see a lot of skeptical eyes. Maybe we take this a different direction. Why don't you guys just ask us questions? I don't have the comp plan in front of me, so I'm not going to do a comp plan presentation right now. I will bore you to death if I do a comp plan. Maybe we can do a breakout on comp plan tomorrow.
I know you were prepared to talk about how to make the money fast.
I like that. Yeah, that works for me.
Well, since we have Luke up here, though, you know, Luke's pretty new, not to networking, of course, but to network marketing. So we're going to utilize Luke. Maybe we focus on promoting personal branding, so using social media, using blogging. Because if you're not out there online, you're creating a great disadvantage for yourself. I don't care how old you are, how long you've been doing this business. There's people out there who can get better at you in a month if you're not on there at all. So maybe some questions about that. And I'm happy to do that piece, Michael too, but it'll be a situation where Luke kind of sits up here and just looks pretty. Yes, Cindy.
Okay, so Luke, I know that in I always say it wrong, SNU, it says to choose a platform that you are comfortable with and that calls to you. Like there's not one that's better than the other. Is that really true? Because what I hear from young kids, and I'm not even saying that this is our market, but that they're leaving Facebook and they're all on Instagram. So is that really true that they're all equal? Because I probably won't master all of them, so I really want to focus on, you know, the ones that are going to be most effective.
Well, the one big thing is you can't master all. There's not time to do that, and you don't have. You've got so many other important things to do. You've got the people below you. You've got to take care of. You've got to focus on your own life on top of that. So it is true that each network now has its advantages and a certain demographic of people that are attracted to it. Facebook has been the largest and is the largest network, but to your point, a lot of the younger generation are shifting away from it because it's so accessible now that they don't like that. You know, it used to be, and it was built by and for college kids in the beginning. It was called the Facebook, and it was a college network that it was built around. Now it's their parents are on there, their boss is on there, their grandparents are on there. So they're much more aware of what they're sharing, and they don't like that. They don't want people seeing all the crazy things that they're putting up, maybe at a party or stuff and things like that. And of course, just the content in general. It's you know, what you guys are trying to do is reach a very specific target group of people, and each of the social networks speaks to different demographics of people. So, for instance, Instagram, like you mentioned, it's a very youth-based social network now. A lot of young people, it's photo-centric. They're posting pictures of all the different things they're doing. A lot, you know, the selfie phenomenon is built from Instagram. It's where it lives and breathes. Hashtag selfie. I mean, that's one of the biggest ways people communicate is with that hashtag. So, yes, what I would suggest to do is to take a look at the bigger social networks. You don't even have to register for an account. And you can look at what type of activity is going on there. And you can see if that's the type of audience that you want to reach or people that you want to talk to. I don't know if the video's gone up yet. I did a module recently and a little tip about it. The worst thing you can do is to promote something or share content about something that no one's going to look at because it's the wrong audience. You're basically just throwing stuff that no one's going to look at because it's the wrong group. That would be like, you know, Alex, one of his favorite bands is Pearl Jam. They're more of a rock group, you know. That would be like him going to a Pearl Jam concert wearing a, I don't know,
Cowboy.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, you know. So yes, there are certain networks that I think would be more beneficial. I can't tell you what those are for you, but you can investigate and look and keep up with and stay active because new networks are popping up all the time. But you want to find the ones that you really feel fit you and what you're doing. For me personally, Twitter is my big one. I connect a lot with a lot of other marketing people and things like that. Instagram is more, it's good for DTC and for the Life Force stuff because it's got, a lot of brands use it to promote their product. So if you're wanting to promote, you know, a box of DTC or the Be New or whatever, you can show cool photos of it in different locations and stuff like that. And then you can look at what the hashtags are. And are you familiar with the hashtags, what that means? You can look at what the popular ones are, and then you can tag your photo with the hashtag. So now people are starting to realize and start to gravitate towards you, and the more the DTC stuff or the Be New stuff or the whatever it is that you're trying to promote, they will then kind of go down that path and you can reach more people that way. So it really depends on if you want to be photo-centric. Do you want to be more, are you a blogger? Do you have content that you're sharing and you have photos to support that and back it up? Or are you trying to be more family-based and do that through Facebook or one of the other, you know, fun new networks? So don't ever think you have to master all of them. That's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen, and it's silly to think that that's what you have to do. Find one or two that you really like, maybe explore a third and kind of experiment with it, but I don't think you have to kill yourself trying to figure out, you know, the best one. And with what these guys have put together, it's very easy now to get the tools that you need to learn each of these social networks in a very easy way and in a very short amount of time without doing all the other homework and investigating. You can get all the answers really, really quickly now. So, and if you have questions about a specific network that we haven't talked about, then send them an email. Send us an email. You know, let us know. That's what we've been doing recently, is looking at the feedback and building the modules on top of that to cater to these type of questions.
So I would really quick ask you, not to answer this, but ask everybody, what do you want to accomplish? Because Facebook has many arms. You can create a business page of Facebook to keep people updated and attract people. You could create a team page of Facebook where they can check in. You can use Facebook chats to connect with your network. It's a great communication tool. I view it a great communication tool to use with your current network. But you're right about the younger people. Like, I have a 16-year-old son who's no longer friends with my wife and I on Facebook. He doesn't want to see my posts. He doesn't want me to see his posts. And
Yeah.
the rules of that, at least until he was 16, was we had his password so we could look. He's not up to anything stupid on there. He just doesn't want to deal with dad's beer posts and mom's pictures.
Not cool
whatever.
anymore.
Yeah, it's just, he doesn't want his friends to see that crap, and he doesn't want his mom to tag him in a picture on the beach.
Yeah, like maybe when he was a kid or something in the bathtub. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. Throwback Thursday, right? So,
That's true.
but the other piece is, so what do you want to accomplish? Because if I want to find a way to meet new people, then I would say a lot of us use, who doesn't use Facebook here? So we all use Facebook. We're going to keep our Facebook account. I don't use my Facebook to meet new people. I use it to connect with people I've already met. For me and Luke, I can speak for. Luke and I's relationship, one of the reasons it's so good is because of Twitter. We got to know each other 6 months on Twitter before we actually even met face, maybe longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
I promoted him, he promoted me, he promoted my wife promoted him. It just grew. To me, Twitter is the best social network to meet new business people. And I'm not talking just prospecting. I mean people who could lead you to an entire another world. And some of you know how I feel about that. We're going to have a few new modules coming up in the next 2 weeks on LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn account. I'm on there. People connect me. I don't know how to use it. I don't care. It's not for me. But I know it's important, so I have one. Because it may take off, and the light bulb might go off, and I say, oh, I need to expand this. Because you can blog on LinkedIn. You can write articles on LinkedIn. It's pretty useful to the people who like it. But I've learned that if I don't like it, I'm not going to use it all the time. Why even bother? So
It's just like a pair of shoes. It's either going to fit, and it's going to feel good, or it's not. And you're going to learn that right away if you like it or not.
But don't just go with it's like, so I've had business people, you got to be on LinkedIn, you got to use LinkedIn. And I was like, oh yeah. No, you don't have to be anywhere, really.
As long as you're
Pick
active.
something you like that you'll use and be active and consistent with.
Yeah.
Ali, just adding to that question, just an extra piece is, not all, but most of the people in this room are much older than the demographic we're trying to reach. What is your recommendation, Luke, for to those people, we are grandmothers or great-grandmothers, and we're mostly women as well. What vehicle do you think will suit us best as older women to reach those young guys who are as young as our grandchildren, if we have any?
You just said the key word, grandchildren. You could use that doorway to promote through your grandchildren, tap into that world through them, almost through their.
Don't have any.
You don't?
But I'm
Okay.
trying to reach that demographic.
I see. Okay.
Can you encourage your children to have grandchildren?
Teenagers.
Wait
have children.
at least another 10 years before we
Okay.
even think about it.
Okay.
Now, so I'm assuming we're talking about DTC then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I understand that the demographic is, for the most part, from the infomercial and the things that we did, it's kind of got that hip, cool edge to it. The good thing is, it doesn't just have to be about the age group of it, because there's a lot of nutritional value behind it too that speaks to everybody. The fact that it's got less sugar, less calories, and all that good stuff going for it means that you don't just have to look at it from a group of young people. You can look at it from a wellness perspective if you wanted to. There's a lot of communities online that are wellness-based, health and fitness. I'm, through Twitter, friends with a lot of fitness brands. I'm very, very, very strong advocate when it comes to health and fitness, especially after, I've gone through some health issues. I know Brian has. It's kind of opened up my eyes to a better life, health-wise, and I could always do better. But so I've attached myself to a few fitness brands as well. And through channels like Twitter, it's very easy to communicate. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do a lot of marketing outside of this world and even the magic world. I've had the opportunity to talk to directly brands like Virgin America, Cheetos, and the Chester Cheetah character, the guy. And it's all because of these. It's not even because it's theirs, because I took the time to use it. Brands will listen and they will connect with you the same way that a community will. If there's a community of people talking about a certain topic and you get involved, then just like the way you guys have become part of this world, you can enter in other worlds that have the benefits, such as the wow, I stopped drinking soda a long time ago because of the calories and this. The wellness world. There's a lot of people, especially now with the way that soda's been promoted as this evil thing. This whole stigma around that world. You can go into like the health and wellness whether it's through forums or communities online or through the social networks or even on Facebook, they've got pages. You can go and search for pages and groups of people that talk about topics like this, and you can enter in those channels through that way as well. So I wouldn't think of DTC as just like, you know, a bunch of kids partying and the youth, and it is what has been promoted, but that's because it's supposed to be this new, fresh way to do this type of marketing. But at the underbelly of the whole thing is a better drink, just the same way that Be New was a new type of thing to get people to, you know, feel better, and to, you know, same thing can be said for DTC. It's just a better way to enjoy what you do anyway, and that's drink energy drinks or get rid of coffee and substitute that for that. So if there's obviously groups of people for everybody online, and I think that could be a great way to tap into those people, is just to find people that are already talking about those type of things, get in there in a very organic and generic way, build some genuine relationships and friendships online, and then slowly start to move into, did you know, da, 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 da. You know, I'm a big fan of something I've promoted a lot, and I'm a very firm believer, and I'll argue up and down, the 80-20 rule. And it comes down to sharing content 80% of the time, and going for the call to action 20% of the time. Providing valuable content, whether it's articles, whether it's advice, whether it's inspirational stuff, whatever. And then that other 20% of the time, you throw in the call to action. The same thing could be said for that. You know, if you found a community of people you enjoy talking with, you know, get in there and share stuff that you found that's interesting and exciting that you're talking about. And then once every now and then, drop in a, did you know? Click this. It feels better, because if you do it the other way around and it's 80%, do this, it feels spammy, and people don't want to be sold now. They want to build relationships online now. They want to feel important now, and know that the people that they're talking to are genuine, because it's so easy now to click that unfollow button or that block button. So, yeah, I think don't be turned off by the age group. I sincerely believe that. Yeah.
Sounds like it takes up a huge amount of time.
It doesn't. So what's lacking in the world right now is mentorship. It's greatly lacking. So I would encourage all of you, if you're my age or older, you know, 31, a little older than 31, is if I go try to act like I'm 18 or 22, it's like trying to be cool with my 16-year-old. My 16-year-old doesn't want me to be his cool friend. He wants me to be his dad. And even though he looks the other way when I give him advice, it sinks in. It's lacking. And even though a lot of the younger generation may seem like a degenerate or they don't care, they do. And they're looking for great business people and great minds to be their mentors. I would encourage you to talk to people who are 18, 22, 25, 30. Find out what they're looking for. But mentorship is greatly lacking in the world right now. And if you could set yourself up as a mentor online and build a brand as a mentor, people are going to check you out. They're going to like what you're up to. And then it's going to draw more people. The other thing I want to say about any social media platform is do not look at it as a prospecting tool. It's not a flyer. It's not something you hand out. And because I know people in this room have tried it and stopped because it didn't bring in numbers. And it's not going to. What it's going to do is open windows.
It's no different than you guys going to an event, basically, and just meeting people that you might not have met before, but now you're able to do it wherever you are, whenever you want to, and you can do it in a much less business way, because when you go to an event, of course, there's an agenda and there's a reason that it's happening. But online, it's the same basic thing. You're building a relationship with someone new, and then at the end of the day, you're going, hey, check this out. I think you might like this. But that's after you've built the relationship. And it's really not, we have tools in the university. One of my favorite ones is Google Alerts. You know, you can set Google Alerts basically to where, pick a topic. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. What's your name? Christine. What's a topic that, outside of this, what means something to you? What do you like in the world? I'm sorry?
Dancing.
Dancing. So you know what you can do? You can go to Google, type in Google Alerts, and it'll bring up a little link. I think it's actually google.com/alerts. And you can type in the keyword at the very top, dancing. You can then have it, it'll ask you, how many times a day do you want to be notified of articles about dancing? You can pick once a day or when the article's posted. And the really nice thing is, this stuff is delivered to your email. You pick the email address and it goes right to your email. And every time there's a new article about dancing, or maybe there's a new forum topic that's about dancing, it gives you the link to click, and you go right there. You don't have to do any searching. You set up the alert, and it automatically just pushes you dancing, dancing, dancing. I do that with a lot of topics, and I think instead of feeling like you have to kill yourself to go out there and find everything, the technology's great. You can bring it to you.
Yeah, don't try to be something you're not. Did anybody read my blog this week, my Limitless blog with Lauren Galley? Anybody? If you check that out, Lauren Galley's 19. She's the president of a company called Girls Above Society. She came to me and asked me to interview her. Lauren Galley, she's 19. She looks at me as a mentor now. This is a girl who has done more in her 19 years than I've done in my 31. She's the president of a company. She's a model, she's an actress, she's been on television shows. It's weird, it may look weird on the outside for me to connect with a 19-year-old girl. Of course, I went kind of through my wife to make sure that was all legit.
Yeah.
But for a 19-year-old girl, if I tried to be cool, it would be creepy. Right? It would be nothing but creepy. But for me to see what she's up to and even be able to offer her advice and interview her. Right now, I've built such a relationship with her in the last 2 weeks that I could literally send her a sample at DTC. And if I pushed a little bit and she was interested, it's a done deal. But it was that legwork that me showing up as someone who's more successful than her, but can mentor her, but also appreciating what she's already done. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. She's a remarkable, remarkable person. But it's taken me 2 years to get to the point where I'm attracting people like that, building an online platform. So if you also have the theory or the thought of, I want to do something the next week, listen, 2 years is coming whether you like it or not. 2 years from now, you could have such an online platform that you're attracting all kinds of great people. Luke's doing that, I'm doing that, but it took us a lot of time. And you say, I don't have that kind of time. Well, that time's coming no matter what.
And it's not time per day.
Yeah.
It's like a marathon. Just the same way that it took you a while to build up your network of people now that you work with. It's no different. It's just a different way of doing it. So now you have the real world that you've built up, and now it's time to build up your online presence.
You dance for an hour a day?
Yes.
If you worked on your online platform an hour a day, you can work on it 20 minutes a day. An hour a day is an eternity in the online world. An eternity. An hour a day for the next 2 years, you build an empire.
Yeah, don't be intimidated. It's not anything to worry about.
I have a question for you. I've noticed that I've often believed our own publicity to my detriment. So let me ask you a question. And what I mean by that is, if I think that Chaos Gold is for young people, then I'm missing the rest of the world. So is it true that our target market is much broader than our advertising branding images? In other words, Pepsi brands, think young, but it's not just young people that drink Pepsi. It's people across the spectrum.
Yes, so Harley Davidson markets to, if you've seen a Harley Davidson ad, it's a guy in leather riding a bike. It's a badass. The number 1 and 2 professions that purchase Harley Davidson are lawyers and accountants. They don't market to lawyers and accountants, but they do. Pepsi markets to all of us by showing images that we see as prosperous, as fun. Okay, there's nothing fun about Bud Light. Trust me. They use GMO in everything they do. It's a crappy, crappy beer. And beer is bad for you. Nobody should drink it. Yet, the images they show, people having a great time. So yeah, you're dead on, Michael, that the market is much broader. But just because we're marketing to people who are 25 doesn't mean it's just going to attract people who are 25. It's going to, obviously, Christine, case in point, she's attracted to it because she wants to work with younger people and mentor younger people. It's going to attract a different demographic, usually outside of what the actual image is. You'll see that all over television. Honda, Honda, what's sexy about Honda? Really? Does anybody here own a Honda? Or ever owned a Honda? I own a Honda. There's one reason I own a Honda. I won't have a car the last 10 years. I don't want to pay for repairs. There's nothing sexy about that. But Hondas, you don't get that from their commercials. There's no image like that. They try to portray that, but I just know that Honda's great. But they keep it on my mind by showing these constant commercials. I think Ben was next.
Could you just talk about building your brand, your personal brand, and how that ties into network marketing? For me, Ditch the Boss and The Balance You Need are my personal brand. How important that is online, how to start that, and why it's important.
Do
you want to lead with it, because there's network marketing undertone there, or do you want me to lead with it from the social side?
Well, I would say a lot of these people have heard me preach personal brand for the last few years.
Okay.
It's kind of like coaching my son in baseball. They're just probably not, they've heard me say it, so for
Okay.
you to talk about it from almost an outsider's point of view, I think would be huge.
Okay.
It's a different look.
Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times. You know?
Maybe they'll actually take action on the brand. Which Ben has. I'll give you Ben kudos.
Yeah.
He actually has a brand that's going out there,
Yeah.
because the best brand you have that will never change or that you can control is yourself. DTC could change tomorrow. It's not going to, but if Donald Trump came in and offered Margie $10 million or $10 billion, would she be stupid to say no, right? What if another network marketing company came in and bought Isogenics and killed the brand because it was a competitor? That happens all the time. Pepsi and Coke do that all the time. They buy brands and kill them. Nike does it all the time. They buy brands and kill them. It's not going to happen with us. But if you were a Nike distributor and Adidas came in and bought the Nike brand and killed it, what would you stand for? So you're building a brand through DTC, but your personal brand is of utmost importance. I'd say no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think even to your point, then you could probably take it even a step further and focus on you directly as the brand, benmueller.com or whatever you want it to be, and those things are part of. What was that? Sorry.
Oh,
That was me.
explode.
That was Scott. Scott needs some attention.
So
You're safe there.
we good?
Just
No,
shut
we
it
have
down.
feedback that's driving me nuts. Sorry. I have very good hearing.
You know, something weird.
This, I manage my own stuff. I manage a couple other companies as well, their online presence and stuff. And of course I have my own Social Mischief brand. But at the core of it all is me. At least the things I'm in charge of for myself, like my brand and stuff. So I think you could even take it a step further and have like the Ben Mueller and have, because I think right now even if I'm not mistaken, like even on Twitter, I think, isn't your stuff still Ditch the Boss?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you could have your own separate account just for you as well. Because what that does is when you have your own personal brand, you're not just limiting yourself to being all about one thing. You know, Ben Mueller is more, sure, I don't know you that well, there's got to be more to you than just this world. I'm sure you enjoy sports or fitness or something out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or reading or whatever.
He loves the Denver Broncos.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, what?
All right.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So basically, when you focus on yourself as the brand, is still his term, you're limitless, right? Because now you're opening up yourself to a much larger audience that enjoys whatever these other things that you like. The things I do online personally, just to give some examples, I'm very inspirational. So I'm retweeting inspirational things, I'm talking about inspirational things, I write articles about inspirational things, and I gravitate towards inspirational people. Another side of my life, I enjoy sushi, I enjoy sports, I enjoy fun, so I've got this sports side of me. Then I've got the Vegas side, I've got a Vegas circle of people that I follow, and I keep up the Vegas news, and I share that. So there's all these various things around me that build up who I am online. But like when you're just advertising the brand of Ditch the Boss,
Mm-hmm.
then that's all that people are going to see that as. And if they're in, they're in. If they're not, they're not. But kind of limiting that. So I think the personal brand is very important. And the nice thing is, it still all ties together. It's just you're now actually making yourself even more powerful because you've got all these different angles around you, and you become the center point of it all. The person I aspire to be is Richard Branson. And he is at the core of Virgin, whether it's Virgin Galactic, the new space thing, or whether it's Virgin America, or any of the other ventures that he's involved in, he's at the core of it all. But if you only looked at the brands, and you're not a fan of the brand, then you would never be interested in the other things that he does, which he does a lot of good in the world. So I think, yeah, not to ramble too long, but I definitely think building more on your personal brand will actually take you a lot further than just focusing on the product or the brand image of whatever you're portraying.
To piggyback really quick, what I tend to do is I mix my life with, I mix everything.
Okay.
So my Facebook account, I've got a Ditch the Boss Facebook page, but my personal account is my life. I mean, I'm out there. You know, I got my wife with her hair all over the place, picture. She's like, "Why'd you post it?" But then, you know, I might talk about Ditch the Can.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm melding everything together so people can see who I am. You're saying, take that even further beyond Facebook.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
you
and
should have your own
Twitter
website.
and
Hell yeah. Have your own website, man, for you.
right.
And of course, these other things can be, you know, links to it, advertisements to it. You know, just the way so many have banners now for your, you know, the stuff on your website now. You just have those banners that just now click through to your business stuff. You know, build that equity into you, because to his point, not that anything's going to happen with this brand or any other brand that you're, you know, but you are at the core of this, and no one's going to take that away from you. So I would definitely build as much equity as you can into you, because the things that are then important to you are just there for the ride, man. And then you also become much more real, human, than this image of whatever the brand is. Now you're a human, you know, humanizing something online is the one thing I preach to a lot of the people I do work for, is like, you can have this brand that's elite, and then I just went to war with one of my clients. It was a hassle, but I won. Thank you. They told me that their online presence was supposed to be, we want to look elite, we want to be rock star, we want to be untouchable, you know, so they didn't engage with the people, they didn't share their content, they didn't follow that many people back. And I said, you were missing such a great opportunity to connect, and it's a product-based company, so you're missing a chance to connect with people that are your customers, that all they want to do is be heard. And that's all I keep hearing from you guys here, and that's why I'm mentioning this. And that's why I'm glad that the discussion happened earlier, even though I wasn't really part of it, I was definitely listening, was that's all that people want, is they just want to be heard. And I think that's all that you guys wanted today too, is just to be heard, and that's going to definitely continue going forward. So branding, just listening, being out there, being active, and you're already doing all the right things. Maybe just try something new every now and then, like that, you know, because I know you got fire, you got passion, and if you did that with your own brand too, the Ben Mueller brand, which I know probably excites you to do that too, right? Dude, then you truly are unstoppable. So.
Yeah, you want to be, this is the great time to be alive, because you can share your passion with people. I mean, it could be youth football. I mean, you could start a website and a blog on youth football, and you're going to attract all these people, and some portion of those people are going to want to join and do business with you. So it's a funnel. By creating your own personal brand, you put a lot of people in the top of the funnel. Because let's face it, you don't really want that many people in the bottom of the funnel joining your DTC business. If I told you you had to work with 30 business builders in the next 2 weeks, you wouldn't work with any of them because you wouldn't know where to begin. If I said you had to work with 3, here's the 3, and they're great. These 3 ladies in the front, you're going to work with them and help them this month, you can handle that. That's all network marketing is. You want to get people to the bottom of the funnel. You're also qualifying them. Most people are going to flake out. You want high quality people, high quality relationships. So, but filling the top of that funnel, attracting as many people as possible in a genuine way, and doing it with passion and having fun with it, that's the key. Just to start a blog, or me joining LinkedIn because I thought I had to, doesn't get me anywhere. It's there, I can do it whenever I want. But I'm going to focus on the things I'm passionate about. And just to give you a quick caveat, everything Luke and I are talking about today is from personal experience, or brand experience we've had through our personal lives or business lives. None of this is theory. It's all stuff that we've made mistakes. I can agree, speak for him. We've made mistakes on for so long. We've just refined.
And I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I mean, what's the point? You know, if I say something that's not true and you go and you find out, I look like an idiot. Screw that. I'm serious. Yeah. And not to brag, but I mean, I have done this for major brands and for celebrity individuals that are the brand as well. And I've taken all that and applied it to myself, and it's working. So obviously something must be going right, and all I want to do is try to share that experience, that knowledge that's been picked up along the way, and just share it, because I think that people, for one, like we talked about earlier, this is not intimidating. It shouldn't be. It might seem like it is, but it's not. And just have fun with it. I think I have fun with the stuff I do. I know that you do, you know, and when you start getting engaged and people start caring not just about the product, but you and what you believe in, and you build these friendships, and God, it's an amazing thing. Like, it takes what you guys do at events and just multiplies it times hundreds. Like, you can reach so many more people too. The fact that you can interact now with brands and celebrities, I have celebrities I thought I'd never connect with that actually contact me and like send me messages or share what I say, or that's crazy and that's cool. And I'm not saying that to my own horn, but I say it because if I could do that with just bullshit stuff that I talk about, then you guys can do that And if someone likes what you're talking about, what you're doing, then they're going to share it, and God knows where that's going to go. That's the other nice thing, you know? So stuff spreads online. It spreads really, really quick. And you just have to be out there and you have to be in the middle of it. That's all. It's just, there is no secret to it. And anyone that tells you that they're a social media expert is a dumbass. Because that's not a job. That's not a job. Being a social media consultant or expert, it's not a job. It's a tool. It's a small tool that you can use to market. So, and the reason I'm telling you that is I've had some people approach me about, can you help me? Can you do that? And I've shied away from it just because of the fact that, like, I don't want anyone to think that what we are trying to do is anything special. It's just work like anything else. Just being out there, being active, being engaging. Just, you know, that's all it is. And anyone that tries to come to you and goes, well, I can help you do this and that. First of all, people can buy followers online. People can buy an audience, and it's all bullshit. So never let anyone make you, first of all, I'm going to say this, and then we'll move on to the next question. Never let that number that's next to your profile, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook, never let it make you feel like because you have less than someone else that you're not as important or whatever. Those stupid numbers mean nothing. You know, it's the true relationships that you meet through that or what's important. Just because you don't have as many followers or as many people following you or you're not following as many people, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the quality of it all. So,
Well said.
yeah.
I think Karen was next then.
So when you're developing your personal brand, when you start putting things out there, is it helpful to focus on just a few primary areas at first as you're building it? Can you put too much out there and kind of cloud your brand by, do you know what I'm saying there?
Yes, for sure you can. And
Yeah.
you can try to do too much. It's like the person who tries to start a blog and says, I'm going to blog every day. And it's going to be a written blog. Do you like writing? Oh, I hate writing. Okay. Do you have a lot of content? No. You're going to blog every day by writing? Yeah, I heard that's how to make money. No, that's not going to work. And that's a lot to somebody because of the volume. But yes, you can do too much. I would say, start small. I've used the example of my wife over and over with a lot of people in this group. And my wife started small. She was very passionate about children's books. And she started interviewing authors to promote books she liked. When she read a book to my daughter, she contacted the author and said, I want to interview you, put it on my blog. We talked about this last night. There's something subconscious when you ask to interview somebody. They can't help it. They have to say yes, 90% of people, because they just love the attention. So when you do it in a genuine way, it takes it to like 98%. My wife just said, hey, I want to interview you for my blog. She had no subscribers. She had no audience. They didn't care. They were being interviewed. And then all of a sudden, within a week or two, somebody was contacting her saying, I just sent you my book. Will you interview me? My house is filled with children's books that we haven't paid a dime for. In fact, she gets so many, sometimes people send her 25 and say, will you review my book, interview me, and then give away the other 24 and do a promotion on that. This all started because she loved children's books and she wanted to promote authors who weren't that famous, so she started a blog to do it. It's grown from there. She'll now review many, many different books. She draws the line with a few categories and a few genres, but it's grown from there. But I would say start with what you're really, really passionate about. What you can do every day will build an audience. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Smurfs. And I'm not kidding. I know a lady that makes over $100,000 a year with Smurfs. She started very simple by taking pictures of her Smurfs and started her Smurf collection. And just started from there. And it drew an audience of collectors.
So she monetized that.
It grows. You get people to follow you. You get people who are like-minded, who want to do business with you, who might not buy your product, but they may introduce you to thousands of people. Richard Branson is probably not going to hire Luke, but if he liked what Luke was up to, he could introduce him to 100,000 people. That's what it's about. It's about high-quality relationships. Sometimes you don't even know. So don't look for the nitty-gritty. Think of it in a broader spectrum. If you're liking what you do and you're not taking a lot of time doing it, does it matter if it makes money? You're going to do that anyway. How many people spend an hour or more a day on Facebook? If you're not raising your hand, I know there's people in here that do it. I know there's at least happy to spend an hour a day on Facebook. You're not getting paid to do that. So what does it matter if you write a blog for half hour a week? If you like doing it, people love passion. And they're attracted to it. And great things happen. Look at every business And it started with somebody's passion. 99% of them started with somebody's passion. Most of you got started in this because you were passionate about body balance. You had a wow experience, or you knew somebody had a wow experience, you became passionate about it, right? So just, if you parlay off your passions, what you love, the worst thing that can happen is just doing something you love every day as a hobby. Good things are gonna happen. So, there's many ways to monetize it, without getting into a specific situation, but I mean, it starts with advertising. But when you build a funnel to people, when they like what you're up to, they want more. You can monetize it through DTC. You can monetize it through LifeForce.
This isn't meant to substitute that. It's just to complement it. That's all. It's just another way to build a network of people, and just doing it in a way that you don't have to worry about where they are or showing up for an event or whatever. It's just a way to meet more people that you would have never known otherwise, because that builds your audience, whether it's personal or for business. And do it enough, and those worlds collide.
I want to take a couple more questions, and then I want to knock off at least 2 things on this list. So I feel like we accomplished something. Not that we haven't accomplished something. I think Joanne, did you have a question?
I did. I haven't gone through all the university yet, but my question is there a, because I can't blog, I hate typing, but I like doing videos. Is there a module yet on how to do videos, when to do them, blah, blah, blah?
Well, I want to say something first before I answer the video part. So the nice thing about technology is it becomes easier to do things that maybe you don't like to do or that you just weren't good at. They have dictation stuff now, where instead of having to type, you just talk. So in the same way you do a video, you just talk and the screen starts showing up the words.
You like to talk, Joanne?
Try that with my accent.
I'm sure it worked. That wasn't meant to be mean. That's good. She likes to talk, right?
What's the best one to get?
Gosh.
The best, there's Dragon makes
that's the one I was going to pull out. Yeah, Dragon's the one I've heard a lot about.
I actually have it.
It's called Dragon?
Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, Dragon. You can get it on Amazon. The single version is not expensive.
Right?
It comes with a headset, and then it takes like 10 minutes, and it trains itself to your voice.
See, I didn't know that.
It'll even understand Australian.
Yeah, that's what he's asking. He's like, it won't pick that up.
Well, the mixed,
that's what I was
Austrian,
wondering.
Australian.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
We'll see if it works how it comes out. Huh?
No, it'll pick up. It'll work for you.
I'm pretty sure it would.
And for your information, David Raphael, who's the managing director at the South Pacific, uses Dragon because he hurt his hand very badly, so he couldn't type. And now all his emails, this is the guy at the head of our office, uses Dragon.
It's more accurate than my typing. I'm a pretty good typist. It's much more accurate.
Know that.
Oh, it's great.
I'm
yeah.
excited now.
Yeah.
That's what stopped me because I by the time I can't, I'm like, what was I thinking?
You lost your thought.
Yeah. Yay. Okay. And so, is there a video one also?
Have you done one on YouTube? I didn't do the YouTube.
We have some basic information. We haven't really dug into YouTube as a strategy, or the blogging sections talk about that. A blog doesn't have to be written. It could be a podcast. It could be audio. It could be video. It doesn't get deep into strategy. So that'll be coming.
Yeah, we can do that then. Yeah.
A lot of the stuff in SMU, because it's only 2 months old, is very high level, very top level. 35,000-foot view. We'll start digging in more and more and more. Also, the majority of the content, 98% of the content, was written by Luke or myself. So it's just 2 guys writing essentially in their spare time. I mean, the more this grows, the more people are working on it. Right now, the people working on the LinkedIn module are not him or I, because we don't use it that much. I don't know, you don't use LinkedIn.
I'm not a fan.
So it wouldn't make sense for us to write those. Where the Twitter and that type of stuff made sense for us to write. So
yeah,
you'll see more and more digging deep into those things.
Yeah, and we're listening. So anytime you have questions, feedback, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it was Jay Lee, then these will be the last 2. Jay Lee and then Lori.
I feel like my roadblock when it comes to building my brand is that, and I'm sure that this is inner game stuff, but that I don't have the credibility or the expertise, or I'm not the guru in a certain thing that I'm doing. But then I also have that perfectionist side of, if I'm going to do a video, it's hard for me to make focal contact, and so I'm afraid that people are going to look on there and be like, what is she looking at? She's looking, one eye's over here, one over. or, you know, my video isn't perfect, you know, I don't have the nice lighting. And so, I mean, how do you feel that, that getting over that roadblock of not having to be perfect and those things? I don't know, that's just what I'm
Do it every day.
Okay.
It's got to be a habit. Because when things become a habit, they don't have to be perfect anymore. And you grow at them and you make mistakes, you're not afraid to make mistakes. You just continue to do them every day or routinely. You know, every Sunday night I write. It's religiously, even when I'm traveling. From 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I write. Every Sunday night. We might just know it's right. It's almost robotic, but I'm creative when I do it. But it's a habit, and it, you know.
But not only that, you know, this is if you're trying to build a personal brand, right? To be honest about that shit. Write about it. Talk about it. Like, the more human that you are, the more relatable you are. People have empathy. You know, they care about the real stuff that's underneath it all. No one's perfect. No one expects you to be perfect. You know.
Those are the people you want to connect with. Those are the people that see you for who you are. I love you.
So I mean, I don't know why. There's no reason to hide any of it or feel like bad about any of it. I mean, if you don't like doing videos or think you don't like, then don't do videos. Just use another medium. Do podcasts. Do speaking interviews and just put them up as audio bits, or just write. Just do articles, or you know something. If video's not your thing, then don't do video. You know, but never hide who you are. Never try to like be this person that you want to be perfect in everyone's eyes, because then that's not you being real. And that's what this is supposed to be all about. Relatable, and people can connect with you because who you are. If they don't like that stuff, then screw them. They're not for you.
People connect big time when they see who you are. I mean, all my videos are done in an office with a ton of accounting records around me. And I got my geeky glasses on at 5:30 in the morning, and I just talk from the heart, and people love it.
Yeah.
They're not looking at I thought maybe I should have a DTC or Life Force sign behind me. No, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, I mean, I'm not afraid to show who I am. I think it was more of maybe that aspect of, you know, do we have to have the perfect
Quality.
lighting, or the quality of the video, or, you know, the content, because I feel like I compare myself to gurus, you know, online, and I'm like, I don't have time to write a blog like you. You know, I'm okay with doing podcasts, but I think it was just like the quality. It's not the content, because you know, if you like me, great. If you don't, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the content, but I think it was just like the quality and
Look at
feeling.
Eric Worre's first video. You know who Eric Worre is?
Yeah.
Look at his first video.
Okay.
I mean, just day and night. So he developed over time.
Okay.
My blog last week was about comparing yourself to other people. You should really check it out. I'm not kidding. Last week was about, it was comparing yourself to other people. Have you read my blog? It literally takes 3 minutes to read. I can't write books. I mean, I can, but I can't read somebody's blog that's like 3 or 4 pages. I don't have time for that crap. I need something in 3 minutes. So my blogs take me about 7 minutes to write, and they can be read in usually 3 minutes or less. If you read the last 2 weeks, especially stop comparing. Comparing yourself to other people is just a killer. It's just a kill. It keeps you from doing stuff because it puts you in such a rut. If I compared myself to other executives or, you know, other people in network marketing, there's always going to be people who are better than me and more professional.
It's a losing battle.
No one's going to be Jay Lee. No one can be better at that. Oprah can't be better at it. Peyton Manning can't be better at it. Well, maybe Peyton Manning. No one can be Jay Lee. And people, we've been over this. People like you. They like to connect with you. They like who you are. You're a mother. You got kids playing sports. You're a wife. You're busy. You've overcome tremendous obstacles in your life. More obstacles than hopefully I'll ever face. And I only mean that in a loving way. People connect with that. You should be talking about those things in the way you talk to me about them. The same reason why I connect with you. And it's not, oh, I feel bad for you. You know it's not like that. I just connect with you on a fun, personal level. There's a lot of people like me who are just looking for genuine relationships. And if you're of the mindset, oh, social media doesn't lead to personal relationships, that died a long time ago. And if you prefer face-to-face, do face-to-face and follow it up with social media. I love to meet people on an airplane and then connect with them on Facebook or Twitter. I love it. Meet people in an airport, connect with them on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, my business cards now have my Twitter name on there. That's like, it still has my phone number and stuff too, but I made it a point, you know, that's connect. That's where it is. social.
I get really disappointed when I meet somebody new and I'm like, hey, are you on Twitter? And like, I hate Twitter. And I'm like, okay, no, we're probably not going to connect. Because I'm not going to see you again face to face. So, and I'm not into dating. My wife won't let me. That's a complete joke. You guys are recording this, right?
Yeah. I just tweeted it.
Tweeting the audio. So the other thing is there's great free resources. YouTube is free. You can set up a YouTube channel and make it private. You can record for the next year and no one can ever see it. SoundCloud is free. You can put up podcasts every day for the rest of your life and make them private and no one has to hear it. And when you feel like, you know what, this is a habit and it's going well and I like it, then you go and get an iTunes account and you get your podcast on iTunes. Or you upgrade your YouTube account and you get a pro YouTube account, or you just continue to make it public.
That was huge for me.
There's so many free, like you could literally go get a free blog tomorrow that no one can see without getting your own domain name and write for the next 2 years. And somebody's probably going to find it and see it like, well, this is awesome. My wife wrote a blog for over a year without even her own domain name. I mean, it was like beating her with a hammer saying, get a domain name at least. You got to get a paid website. It's good stuff. People love it. And then she converted, but she had the same thing. Like, what if people don't like it? Or what if they see this? Or what if it's not perfect? What if they find an error in my blog? Oh, you're human. Well, if you use Dragon, you won't have errors. But literally, there's so many free resources. But you got to want it. You got to want to do it. Because if you want to do it, you'll find a way. And literally, if you look at every great business person when they started, Eric Worre's first video was crap. Richard Branson got his start because he was dirt poor. He took a flight to the Virgin Islands. It got canceled. He was meeting a girlfriend he had a really good chance of connecting with. And he said, I'll be damned if I'm going to miss this flight. And he found a way. He got people who were in the terminal who were also on the canceled flight. He said, listen, we can charter a flight for X number of dollars. Who's in? It's $200 a piece. Boom, boom. He's on. He's like, that was really fun. I could do that. I call it Virgin Airlines. Really, that's how Virgin started. That's how it got the name from the Virgin Islands.
The other thing that I'll say quickly is, and this is more inspirational than business related, but it's combined, it goes together. The more that you see things happening, the more that you see what you want, and the more, if you start to talk about it like it's happening or it's going to happen, I'll be damned if that stuff doesn't start to happen. It just does, and take that for everything, not just about this, just life in general. You see it and you believe it and you already know what's coming, then it's going to come. Like, not everything, of course, but you start seeing it and it'll happen because you've already seen. It's almost like you're subconsciously like trying to find a way to make it happen because you already know what you want and you already know I'm going to get it. And I'll be damned, I've lived my life like that, and so many doors have opened up because I've already told myself it's going to happen, and good things happen. So believe in it.
This guy was a magician working out of North Carolina. I mean,
I was from a very small town.
Working with celebrities.
Very small town. I was just a kid that picked up magic at 8. I then started inventing my own tricks. I started traveling the world with a deck of cards and teaching other magicians the tricks I invented. I did performing in Charlotte. Everyone in my life told me you need to go to college, get a job. I'm like, that's not what I'm supposed to do. That's not where my heart is. That's not what I'm meant to do. And then one day out of the blue, in the same week actually, Chris Angel and David Blaine both called me saying, I want you to come to Vegas or come to New York, because Blaine's out of New York. I chose what I chose, and then I took that and leveraged it to everything else I now have outside of magic. I'm getting away from that industry. I'm still in TV. I'm actually got some TV shows I'm pitching and stuff like that, but now it's all marketing. And I'm taking that creativity and applying it to the marketing world, which actually has given me a huge advantage. So you can always find a way to take your passion and bring it into the business world too. And that's when it really starts to make a difference. So.
And leverage, he said leverage. Make sure you write that word
down.
Oh,
God.
Leverage your expertise and passion.
God, yeah. I mean, I met so many TV executives over the last 6 years that I could have just gone quietly, but damn, I've got some powerful friends now because I talked to, and it's not like I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I just wanted genuine relationships because in Vegas, I have a very small group of friends. None of them are my age. I'm friends with doctors and lawyers, and the guy I met last week or 2 weeks ago created the machine, the label machine that Amazon uses for every order they send out. That happened because I put myself in situations where those type of people are surrounding me. I don't have time for shit in my life. I don't have time for people that want to go out and party and have fun and do that crap. I want success, and I will get success because it's around me. And success breeds success. So.
Last question, then we're going to do a lightning round with a couple
Well, and
of these.
mine's very simple because it's really kind of tied into Joanna and also Jay Lee's. But YouTube, I really, really like it, but I have no clue. And I haven't really delved into seeing, can you use that as a platform for, I mean, can you connect with other, you know, I mean, I know you can
YouTube,
subscribe.
Is it
Like I
YouTube?
subscribe, there's no YouTube.
Oh, man.
Are you guys going to do a module, do you think?
I think we will.
Because I'll wait.
Because the thing is, YouTube,
Because we've got videos, but we
I
are.
think a lot of people don't realize YouTube is a social community. You can comment, you can like, you can share it, that you can subscribe, and other people can link to you back and forth. It is another social network, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I really want to learn how to use that
Me too.
on that level.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys can come up with that.
Yeah, we can definitely dive into
Do
that.
I need to send an email?
Please.
Yeah,
Because on Team
Any
Crown,
idea that we've
a lot of
talked
us
about will
already
not
have
hurt to
YouTube
send us an email.
through Team
Okay.
Crown.
I'm sorry?
A lot of us already have YouTube videos of ourselves on Team Crown. There's loads of them. I must be on there at least 6 or 8 times
Right.
with a YouTube video that's been videoed at an event about these products is already on YouTube and on the Team Crown channel. And I want to know how to use those, which are already made,
Mhm.
in my personal branding.
Well, that's the nice thing. I mean, if you decide that you want to have a website, you can take those videos. It's so simple. Once again, this is not hard stuff. YouTube has a couple different ways that you can take the content. It's got a link that you can share it, or they give you the embed code. And what that is, it's just a piece of code that you can take and copy it. You literally just copy it and paste it onto your website, and that video then pops up right there, and it plays right there. So, you know what? We will definitely, please do that. Please send us
I've
that.
got it. Yep, I've got it.
Because
right.
YouTube is something we haven't gone into detail about enough yet, and it is a powerful tool. And video content, my God, is some of the most powerful content. You know, it's either pictures or video. It's engaging stuff. You know. Yeah.
Thank
For sure.
you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Luke, for being a part. I mean, you too, Alex, because you're amazing. But really, Luke,
Alex, like,
your,
all over the place.
what you brought to the content that you
Never.
brought
Yeah.
to us through social media,
Cool.
you know, I really appreciate
Yeah,
all
we're
of
having a
it.
blast.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, can we talk about DTC off limits promoting?
Yes.
Sure.
Please.
But I want to make it more than just a question and answer session. I want to make this like the lightning round of those of us that watch game shows when we were younger. Like they had a lightning round at the end. It was quick and fast. Let's do that. So rather than talk about what's off limits, let's talk about what's on limits. And let's push the envelope a little bit. And let's get our pens going. And what can we do to promote ourselves? And it's nice, Alex, Luke, I'm going to create a personal brand. What can I do with that? Well, let's get some promotion going. Let's have some fun. Let's get some ideas that you can walk out of here next week and start taking to your team and doing.
Yeah.
Because all of this is useless if you don't put it in play. You listen to Luke all day. If you take it and be like, well, that was nice, but I'm not really going to do anything with it. I'm not going to start a blog. I'm not going to go on Twitter. I'm not going to go on LinkedIn. It's not going to do any good. So let's talk about some stuff that you can actually put in place along with all this great social media to keep this marathon approach going. So can you stand up and just kind of explain, get us started?
Okay. Well, actually, the reason I asked that question was I have a young man who's interested in getting behind DTC, and he's a rapper and an artist, and he wants to put it on the CDs. He wants to talk about DTC between sets. He just wants to spread it. So I'm like, great, that's fantastic. All these ideas are great, and I would just run with it. So. Is that all fair game?
Yes. See, we're done. That was easy.
Do it. The thing is, I would say one thing. This isn't meant to stop it, but if it happens, just let them know so that they can then, of course, promote it as well. You know, because I'm sure.
We'll all promote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the real question is, how does he do that? In that, does he direct them to his website? How does he's in between?
Let me reverse that, okay? Let me reverse that, because as network marketers in the network marketing community that I've been involved in for almost 20 years wants to tell people what to do. Game has changed. To attract people who aren't interested, who've never been in network marketing, you ask them what they want to do. If he wants to talk about it between sets, great. What does that look like? How can I help you do that? How are you going to do that? Because he's going to give you some ideas that you can take to other people who aren't rappers. I would ask a lot of questions of people who are interested in it. As you get people through this media buy, that's the one thing I would say is don't force any agenda on them. Here's what you have to do. You have to have a meeting. You have to do this. You have to go into SNMU. I wouldn't tell them they have to do anything. What do you want to do with this business? What do you want to accomplish? Why did you join? Oh, I don't want to go to college. I just want to build a business. I want to be able to do this. Okay, so here's what we need to do that. What would you like? We have this. We have a great university. Do you want to check that out? Yes. Okay, great. Well, you look at that for the next 48 hours and contact me. I would find out, instead of saying, us dictating to him, because I'm not a rapper. I'm not an entertainer. How would he do that? He probably already has great ideas of how he wants to do that. And some of it might work and some of it might not, and work with him very, very closely. The thing is, sometimes we get mentally that if somebody has great ideas, okay, well, I don't know what it's like to talk about DTC between sets. So I'll just let him do his thing and see what happens. Stay in close contact with them. Because maybe you will see something based on your expertise that'll help. Maybe he's not using the right wording. That's where your mentorship can really help. Rather than say, well, we need to have a meeting. You need to get on a conference call. He's never going to get on a conference call. Never in a million years. So if you tell him conference call, he's going to be like, oh, okay, and he'll never talk to you again about it. But if you play in his game, so you want to promote this, someone's excited about this. Think about back to the time when you first started LifeForce, most of you, LifeForce, or if you just started DTC. What really excited you? And if someone told you you had to do the exact opposite, you wouldn't be sitting here. Whatever they're excited about, take that and run with it.
Also, you should team up with Namas.
Yeah, just then the next day I watched the video of Namas.
There you go.
Yeah, and Namas is a perfect example. We found Namas and we just sat with him and said, hey, here's what we're up to. How do you see yourself fitting in? And the kid went off. I can do this, I can do this. He was just excited. If we would have said, hey, we want you to do this and you have to do it this way, he may have done it, he may have done an okay job. But instead, we just let him run with it. People's chasing their excitement and their passion. We just let him do it. So really, when it comes to DTC and promoting, there's not a whole lot that's off limits, unless we're hurting people or breaking the law. It depends which law, I guess.
So DTC it appears to have partnered with some people on the field with events. So do you have some sort of guideline or policy around doing that?
Not right now.
So if we would like to do that, you just
Contact me, John or Brian, and get as many specifics as possible. So I had somebody contact me 2 weeks ago, would we be interested in Austin city limits? Yes, but what does that look like? Well, we do a booth. Okay, well, what does the booth cost? Where was it at? How would it work? What would we, So think about it from that perspective, is try to get as many details and put all your vision right there. I want to do Austin city limits, and it costs $8,000 for a booth on these 3 days. And here's the artists that are going to be there, and our booth's going to be located here potentially. And I have an in with this guy. And what I'd like from the company is to pay for half the booth and provide all the product. Well, let's just be real. You want the company to pay for all of it. Start there, and we'll work backwards. Okay, I have to cut that back. But the worst thing to do is not ask. So if you have an idea for an event, best scenario is we show up, we pay for it, we bring the product, we work with you, and who's going to work the leads?
Me.
Those are all you. We're dying to help people do that sort of thing. And right now, if it's a $10,000 booth at Lollapalooza, maybe we don't do that. But maybe we do something smaller and we help you out, or we send people, troops on the ground to help you out, or we partner with other people in the area to keep it going. Yeah, that is definitely not off limits. We want to do as many of those. And with our media buy hitting certain markets, we may be able to, we're working with a publicist, we may be able to say, hey, we're going to be at this event, Austin City Limits, on these dates. Can we do some appearances? So now Brian and I are there doing, Luke, doing television appearances, radio interviews. We do a radio interview that says not only go to dtcmovement.com or text 75309, come to this event, we're at Austin City Limits, we're on this, we're here in this ring, come see us, come try it out. Puts it, people on the ground, makes it tangible. Yes.
How do you, NAMI, I thought that was a very powerful interview for youth. Why was that going to be taken off the air? I mean, I really wanted to use it to promote to 18-year-olds. And yes, we have his rap, but I thought it was also important what he said. It was very powerful for a youth to connect with that person.
I don't know if you want to email me about that. I haven't been part of that.
Okay.
I wasn't in the office when that was filmed or when that
A
aired.
lot of the
last
live
week.
streams have stayed up though, that's the thing. That's
Well,
Yeah.
the theory with the live stream is it's new every week, so we don't want to put old ones, but we're learning that people like most of them and they want to reuse them. So it looks like what we're going to start doing with that is most live streams will stay up for a week. We'll air them, and then they'll be available for a week. And the new one will come up, and that'll be available for a week.
Is there any way that you can make them available as like an inner circle or something in the back office? Archive?
Potentially.
I mean, they could be unlisted and just plugged in there. Well, you can figure out that problem. Speaking of live stream though, you
Those
should
are
say-
great things to follow up with me and Brian B.
And you should say the other thing now about the live stream for tomorrow. Right?
Yes, so here's some exciting news. Tomorrow, maybe before lunch, if we could take 45 minutes to an hour, we'd actually like to film 2 Life Force live streams and 2 BNU live streams. Obviously, they won't be aired live. We want to tape them and get them up as soon as possible. Why we have this great group here with great stories, we'd like to shoot a couple of these for use
Nice, yeah.
with great testimonials. So, is anybody up for that?
Yeah! Woo-hoo.
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
We already want Jay Lee to produce the DTC ones with Luke. So on the Life Force one, we need to do a BNU and a body balance. I know we have some great stories here, so I'll work with whoever wants to jump in and do that. If you've got some great stories, let's do that tomorrow and have some fun with it. And I think we could do some great group stuff. So just kind of pencil it in. I don't know if we could do that right after lunch tomorrow, right before lunch tomorrow.
Cool.
This is along the line of the stuff. Are you guys going to come out with the stick pack for individual sale? Do you know if that's going to be in the works at any time? I mean, not that it has to happen now or anything, but down the line
It
sometime?
is in the works. I can't give you a date, but
That's okay.
both Chaos and the Recovery. Just to give you an update on the Recovery, we ran into some challenges with some of the ingredients, which is kind of the holdup right now. Hopefully it won't hold us up very long. But those of you who've tasted it, you haven't tasted the new flavor.
No.
You just have tasted the effectiveness.
Yeah, because I don't really remember the taste. But
You'll like this taste.
Oh, you were that tester.
yeah, on behalf of science. I'll tell you it works, but I don't remember the taste. So with that, because that will help with the retail side.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was in Durango and we had a couple stops. We did some retail stuff, and I'm pretty sure if we would actually had a display and for retail sale, we would have had a couple shop owners ready to go.
And we had a couple that we've got still waiting that are kind of holding.
Yeah, so we know that's hot and heavy and an easy way to talk.
Just
to people.
hard for them to sell 3 at a time.
And it's so the whole stick needs to be redone, and that's definitely in the works.
Okay.
Along with a really nice display. The
Okay.
display is not an issue at all. We want a really high quality display because if you walk into a shop with that actual high quality display and sticks, it's gonna be really hard for a shop owner who's got space to say no.
Okay.
Really hard. It looks nice, they're at least gonna give it a shot.
And then do you know if we'll have a bulk ability for like a bar or somebody to be able to scoop for using for beverages? Aside
That's
from
not
that?
in the works at this time, doesn't mean that
So
would change.
I'll email that too.
Sure.
Sure. Don't make it a long one though,
Big one,
short.
yeah.
No, short, just bullet points.
Bullet points, Lori.
Bullet points.
Bullet points are great. Long emails are not fun.
Alex, just following what she was saying, we understand, and we could be wrong, that we cannot sell retail through chain stores like 7-Eleven or anything like that, but only through individual stores. Can you clarify that a little bit, please?
Yeah, that's right. So you can, if we go to 7-Eleven or
Anybody?
Safeway, I don't know what you have here, it competes with the business model. Because there's widespread distribution. I mean, if we're going to be a retail company, then it's not a network marketing company. However, so we feel like independent stores fit the model much better because you're making a close relationship with somebody and you can offer something to them that they can't get anywhere else, which is residual income off of it. They can actually build a business. So that would be the end goal of any retail distributor, is that it's a way to play it in their field where you could actually get them into network marketing. They can see the power of residual income instead of just one-off retail sales.
Thank you.
So we knocked off.
Oh crap, it's me. It's 3:33.
Okay, so I think that's a sign. So we knocked off DTC promoting. Made maybe tomorrow morning we can talk about a couple of these other things. We're still doing the breakouts? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
And you kind of did address the communication options too, because that was my question, but you did address that as well when you were talking about.
Oh, you put that up there.
I did. Well, I
Okay.
mean, I didn't write it up there, but I.
That was your suggestion?
Yes, but you kind of addressed that already. So
So
you
we
really,
got 2 out of 6.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Better than I thought we would do.
Very good.
All right, so I'm ready for a break.
Yeah.
Yep.
3:33
All right, let's give it up to these guys.